On this episode, we're tasting a Balter XPA, the can that smiles back at you. Grab 2 or 10 and sip along with Andrew and Chris. This is Yeah, Beer and That. Welcome back, Andrew. Welcome back to you and to Justin.
Justin, my hero, my friend now.
Yes.
My confidant.
We were talking about cricket cards. My brother-in-law features on some, and it was one of those ones. For Christmas, I showed him my collection. I was like assuring him that there was nothing creepy or weird about it, but I have every single cricket card he's ever been on, and I've got it like double wrapped as well. And he seemed to be like, that's cool, kind of, but also was like, why do you have
creepy?
This? I love it. I've got all of my other brother-in-law played AFL as well, so I've got.
Oh yeah, he would have some as well.
I've got all of his as well. I gave him his versions in like these lovely framed things.
How many games did he play then? 10 or something?
Yeah, he played a few, but his were more for the state league stuff that he got on his football card.
Ah, right.
So, but they were really cool. I really like them. He looks very young in them.
Nice guy.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. But yeah, so anyway, talking cricket cards and football cards, haven't done that in 30 years.
Yeah. What do you got?
Now we're talking beer, Andrew.
Love beer. Love beer more than anything.
The Balter we have
Children
with us. Yeah.
One constant.
They're so hard. Man.
They're good. They're good
We've
fun.
just had just
But it's like
Christmas.
a lovely harmony, isn't it? Beer and children. Like you can't have one without the other.
Like that. What's that? Oh man, love and marriage. So that's the thing. I love that. Yeah. Now we're drinking beer,
Another, yeah.
and later we're going to be looking after children. That's
Correct.
the hardest way to do them. I prefer it the other way. Actually, look after children all day,
And then drink. Correct.
and drink heavily.
Yep.
Yeah, so
I'm going to have to drink, look after the child, and then go to work at 5 a.m. tomorrow.
that's pretty rough.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Done it before, do it again.
Okay, we've got an XPA, and the reason we've got an XPA is we've recently brewed a Necatron XPA Freshwork kit. And when I was thinking of comparing them and going, there was the Necatron XPA, that's how that tasted and that's how that went down. I went, what was our introduction to XPA? And I had to think, because I thought it was the Coopers.
No, couldn't have been.
And it wasn't. No, obviously not. And after a long, hard...
Couldn't have been because their XPA has only been out for about 4 years, 5.
For some reason in my brain I went, I think I confused their XPA with their Session.
Yep. Could have.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because that was the XPA was their purple.
Yes.
Yeah. So I did get confused and I thought, oh, that was awesome that they did that. And I was like, no, they didn't. And then I was trying to think who it was. And it was Balter.
Yeah, definitely.
Balter, for a period of time here in Australia, just dominated. The craft.
Didn't
I don't know if they still are.
I think since the buyout, they've dropped off a little bit.
Okay. But they were in.
Now owned by Asahi.
Are they actually? Okay.
Yeah.
They still
Couple of years
probably
ago.
are selling tons and tons of
Shit,
beer,
it's still good beer.
But they used to be this weird little
I think
icon.
the IPA was the IPA the XPA won like 3 years in a row on the Gabs.
I think it was the XPA. I think
it
it was
might
this
have been
exact
the XPA,
beer
yeah.
that won the Gabs
Yep.
like Hottest 100. Like,
And then their
a lot.
IPA might have been in the top 5 or 6 as well.
Yeah, well, their double IPA,
Yeah.
their Elvis double IPA was the one that was so early on in our craft adventure that when I had it for the first time, I didn't understand that a double IPA meant such high alcohol.
Yep.
They came in those tall cans. I remember
Yes,
on the
they
phone to
always
you
had that.
going, I finally got them. I finally got a 4-pack. It was super expensive.
Remember no, the height of Balter for you and I was 2016, 17. No, it's 17, 18.
And we need the fact checker. don't
Remember,
we?
we do need a fact checker. But I remember you and I were like ringing up.
It's a butthole there.
Yeah, it's a butthole hair.
Yeah, not my butthole.
the Unley Hotel drive-through to get there. There was they
Yeah.
released what
That
was
double,
that?
the double IPA. It was the
Oh, was it the white
tall
with the
can
with the yellow ring? That's
the
right.
yellow rings.
Yellow and black
We
rings,
couldn't get
maybe.
them. Yeah.
We couldn't, and they had them, and I'd go, yes, that's right. We were like,
There was some.
We were
there was
hanging
real
on their
hype,
next, their next release, basically. And they had a couple of seasonals as well that were always in the 440s, and that was a really happy time of my life.
The Elvis was their stout. That's a stout.
Yeah, that is a stout.
But the one that was the double IPA, that was what we were waiting for some reason. Because every time we went to go get it, it was already sold out, and we were like, "This must be awesome." But yes, we were ringing up that little drive-through.
Yes,
Just I don't know exactly. I can picture it in my head. Sip and save.
Yeah,
It was
the sip and save. Yeah.
because
They
you'd
had-
gone there and you were like, there's some left, and I'd race down there and you'd asked him to put some aside or
Yeah,
something. He was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I won't.
Yeah,
Like
he
we
couldn't,
had barely any left. Yeah. There you go.
The XPA, is it what you remember it to be?
No.
Is it I remember this being like genuinely the new best thing. It tasted. It was more than a pale ale, but it wasn't quite the IPA, which is what it's supposed to be. But this is just coming across very session ale-y to me now. Are we just so far
I don't know
into
whether
the-
we're so far into it that we can't, that it's
a drop in the like it's.
I've had a million of these, and 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago it was this is heaps better than a West End.
It is, but okay. So this is 1.5 standards. Right?
Yep.
I'm trying to see the 5% alcohol by volume, but this tastes less pale ale-y than the mismatched pale ale to me.
I think they're a very different beer.
Yes, but this is supposed to be the extra pale ale. That's what that is. XPA, for those playing at home, is supposed to be pale ale plus.
Yep.
The link between pale ale and IPA.
Mhm.
This isn't. This is sitting on this side of pale ale.
It's two different breweries though.
I understand that. Maybe
hard.
if I had the Balter pale ale, I'd go, oh, okay, that's the reason. But
And
yeah.
their IPA, that would be a good one.
And then their IPA.
Yeah. Yeah, but that mismatched pale was like dark copper. And this Balter XPA is the exact same colour, almost a little bit clearer because it's commercially brewed, I suppose. Filtered.
Good removal machine, mate.
Good. Nelson. The same colour as the Fresh Work Kit.
The Necatron.
Necatron.
Clear, yeah.
It's almost exactly the same color, and the head retention's almost similar. So about like I think there's a lot of similarities.
There is actually a lot of similarities between the, which is weird because the Necatron is again supposed to be the XPA.
Yeah.
I didn't make that connection when we were talking about that, and then had the pale ale. But now I'm critiquing this heavily, like it's. Whereas this actually is a really good example of the style compared to that Necatron.
Really good example of style. Really good.
Go through the taste and aroma, mate. Try compare it as best you can to that Necatron.
Yeah. Can you get me one?
Yes, I'll go get you one now.
Let's
Please talk about lovely
I'll continue on.
this Balter XPA
Is
proper commercial. Like
these days. The back it might be pale, but there's nothing weak about this bad boy. Tropical and floral aromatics set off a fruity palate that will punch your taste buds into the pleasure zone. Tailored for those who enjoy a full hopped beer that's still easy to drink.
and I agree with that. I think the easiness to drink, and if you're following on the tube, how clear it is. I mean, you're not gonna drink two of those and think, yeah, I'm done. I'm full. It's too much. Yeah, piney, not over the top. I don't think not over the top in terms of the floral and fruity arrangement on the nose. Thank you, Chris.
Sorry, I poured a bit like shit.
That's fine. You're probably running back.
I was running. I'm not used to that.
Yeah, it's comparatively now we have the
Necatron Fresh Work Kit from All In, and exactly the same color.
Yeah. Beer commercial colour.
100%.
The nose on the Necatron, though, I feel is much more... Yeah.
a lot more piney and floral.
This is like wort. This is more, not worty, more malt derived than hop driven.
I feel this is more malt driven than hop driven. On the nose,
I was just while you were gone, I was just talking
sorry.
about it, but also read
on the back. tropical and floral aromas.
I get more tropical.
Set
than
off with a
floral.
fruity palate, but no, there's not a heap. Well, there is,
but maybe not comparatively if I'm comparing it next to that. But
we need to give this to like our dads. Be like,
they would hate it. Like for the nose, it would be guy at work at the moment. I'm gonna work. I'm gonna work on this bloke, and he's a proper concreter type. Well, he is by trade, and a chef. Like exactly what he sounds
concreter
like.
and a chef. That's
Correct.
an odd combination.
We call him Wawa because he's like, Wah! That's how he speaks, right?
No.
And he loves his fishing. Goes on a catamaran every like winter here up, then does fishing up in the top, like from Yorks. Goes fishing every weekend. You know, drinks like a shit ton of piss. But it's very much there's one beer or two beers for me, and that is Great Northern, and for it, you know. Yeah. And I was talking the other day about it. He's like, oh man, I can't do the fruit. Like it's too fruity. He's only 40, early 40. He's like, can't do the fruit. It's just it's a fruit cup. He's like, nah, fuck everything else, you know. And I was like, Josh, I'm gonna get you on some stuff. He's like, I bet you can't, you know. He's a really good bloke.
Okay.
You know. And because he loves flavours with cooking, like he's a really good cook. He brings in all this pickled stuff we all share, and he's been a chef. So I find it hard. Correct, right? So I'm like, So I want to get him on some really good malt-driven stuff. Because he just thinks like it's all just hot bomb.
Some English beer, maybe.
Some really good English
where
beers.
they focus much more on the malt.
I think you really enjoy it, but he's a classic at the moment that we can work on to open up some boundaries. But yes, whether someone like him would just not even be able to pick up any malt. It would just be it's too fruity. It's too fruity. If I want an orange juice, I have orange juice, you know.
If I wanted orange juice, I'd have orange juice. I don't feel like this is orange juice, so I can understand that with a Nipah, like a really...
Yeah, but they might.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. The dads and that.
I'm going to have a little sniff of this, sorry, while we've got it. Man, you don't even have to bury your nose in that. That kind of is out of the glass.
Yeah, you can get that from a while away, can't you?
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah. Maybe the comparison isn't.
That was only 50 grams for 20 litres. I think on the mouth though, like even the thickness, like everything is similar. Thoughts?
So thin.
The XPA?
Yeah.
Compared to that?
Yes.
But I also thought that was thick for an XPA.
Yeah, okay. I said medium.
Medium, yeah.
Earlier.
I expect... You know what? You're right, it's an XPA. I keep thinking these are like session beers now. No. They should be a Pale Ale Plus. That's what an XPA is, and it's an extra pale.
That's thin for me.
When are these going to be entered into the BJCP, do you think?
What?
XPAs.
Are they known there?
No.
Really?
There's not a style, yeah.
I don't believe you.
It's not a style as per the BJCP. You know what, as well? Because I was actually having a look. So, you know how I recently brewed an ESB?
Yes.
Well, ESB is technically not a style either. Right. It used to be. It used to be BJCP Style Guideline 8C from 2008. And that was an ES/SB, which is an extra special or something better.
Yeah, right.
Whereas now it's 11C. It's a... You know how you have your ordinary bitter, best bitter, strong bitter? Sorry, SB could be extra strong bitter or extra special bitter.
Yeah.
It's now 11C, which is strong bitter. It's part of that. The only reason I'm deviating to this is because I was actually doing the research today. I was like, what style did I make? What style guideline does it fit? And it was 11C strong bitter, and that's the beer that you party guy on. Or there's a brewery over in England called Fuller's or Fulham's or something like that, where they would basically one batch of grain, they'd do 3 runnings. The first running is the strong bitter.
Yep.
The second running is the best bitter, and then the third running is the ordinary bitter. Yeah. Well, and I think it actually goes down to dark mild. They might even do a 4th running. Which is the dark mild. Yeah, but that's what a party goal is. It's just the same exact beer run 3-4 different times, whatever
that's
it is.
Really cool.
But to me, that's how I understood an XPA, because, for example, we have in Adelaide, in particular, we have Coopers, which is the pale ale is just the diluted version of a sparkling ale. Yeah. And as far as I understand, that XPA is a diluted version of the sparkling ale that they hop. Yeah.
Yeah. Just quickly, while you mentioned Coopers, did you see this year they canned 81 million cans?
I did see that. Yeah. $5 a can, mate. They're not doing too bad.
Hang on, was it million or thousand? No, it wasn't.
It was like 81 million. I
wasn't-
know it wasn't $5 a can, obviously, but like,
No, not with cost.
but yeah, they did a lot of beer.
That was right, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
71
like
million
it was like
bottles.
80 something million, something.
71
cans,
million bottles, 81 million cans,
Yeah.
And kegs went on it. I'm not sure what that was.
Yeah, I didn't know, but yeah, I saw that. I
Fucking
saw that post as
operation,
well.
isn't it?
Huge. We're kind of Cooper's fanboys, but
I wonder,
I love that
they'd
they're
have to be
independent.
the biggest brewery in Australia.
Biggest independent.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
Under the one label.
Yeah, I guess you go into the other ones that would be ginormous that do multiple
Yeah.
Labels under the one.
AB
banner.
InBev.
Yeah, of course. No, I didn't mean. Yeah, I didn't mean.
Yeah, not a liquor company.
They're the biggest independent in maybe South Australia.
They'd have to be Australia.
You
Surely.
think so?
What would be a bigger independent?
I don't know, but
brewery?
I don't like making those claims without knowing. This is where we need fact checker. Fact checker.
Nah, it'd have to be because it was like I think dickhead. Think of it. Fucking
You know the ones Perth, Geelong,
Little creatures.
Little Creatures were,
They're not independent.
but they're not
anymore.
independent anymore.
Yeah.
But I don't think they would have competed on the level that Coopers were.
I'm not sure. I really don't know.
And how do you measure that? Is that on dollars, volume, staff,
Volume. Typically
purely
volume.
litres?
Yeah,
Like
litres, yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you gauge what size brewery you are.
There wouldn't be any in Australia or New Zealand bigger. Independently, like
Maybe not. So we have it in Adelaide. Again, another thing
Anyway,
that Adelaide does better.
we should
than-
go out there for look at their new facility there.
I have.
Did you go have a look?
Yeah. I haven't partaken in
I
beers
really
there
want
yet.
to
but-
try the seasonal. Not seasonal.
Oh, they have that. I don't know what you're talking
tap.
about. Yeah, the don't
the
do this to me.
generational.
yeah.
the festive. The father's
I can't.
father's father was a brewer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can see it in my head. I can't. Yeah.
like the vintage.
The vintage. I've got one in the fridge actually.
My name Dada.
Yeah. Sandra, what are we going to do about this beer here?
Drink it. No, I've got more to go.
Yeah. He got me with a C at the bottom
I did.
by not filling up his glass. He kept filling his can.
I think it's a real like funny life moment, isn't it? Like, this was just such a go-to. Love it. And I remember I house sat this place in Blair with Hannah before, like years ago now, and it was near Blair Fine Wines, and they have a really good craft beer range as well. And I'd got the IPA for the first time. I was like, and I just couldn't wait, like the Balter IPA, and it's funny how your life progresses. That this isn't like my
This isn't it
my
anymore.
happiness anymore.
Yeah.
Like whereas this Balter, getting Balter was just it for me at one point.
When
It's
did
just
that-
how much I
when did that
loved it.
change,
But like,
though? Because
it's funny how-
I haven't bought it in honestly years. It wouldn't have been years, and it was only brewing that beer that made me go, I need to buy a Balter again. Like this was what introduced me to what an XPA was. But now it doesn't taste any different to everything else. And is that their doing or is that the market's doing? Like have they
both
they-
maybe.
Yeah,
Both, I guess. I don't think that's as good as
it used to
it
be.
used to be.
I don't think so either.
And that could be different iterations and the buyout and
Well,
multiple. There's a few reasons there.
I spoke to a friend of mine who worked at a very big brewer in Adelaide who was bought out by a very big company. And what he told me was one of my favourite old beers there, their throwback IPA,
Oh yeah, what happened to that?
was just watered down until they could. They just lick it back.
I haven't seen that on the
lick it-
shelf for a long
It's
time.
come back,
Okay.
and I only bought it
Because
the
that
other
was a
day.
fucking riffing beer.
He reckons they just kept liquoring it back
Right.
to save money and to maximise profits until it got to a point where it's like, we can't really liquor this back anymore.
Right.
That was one of my favourite beers of theirs.
That's a shame, and maybe that,
Pyrolife.
maybe
Pyrolife. I'm talking about Pyrolife.
I wonder that's an interesting story because that's what it feels a bit like.
Yeah, it feels like
It
it's
feels
just
a bit-
liquored back as
yeah.
fuck.
Feels
Too light on. It's
so thin for me. Is it thin?
It is.
I mean, you
no,
do a lot
this
of
is
tastings. Is that a thin?
This
tasting?
doesn't give me that mouthfeel I want. It doesn't. So there's a term we use when we taste beer. It's like expressive or definitive or something like that. Where you can actually start to pick out the different grains and stuff.
Right.
And with really craft beer, I can go, fuck, I can taste nuttiness, I can taste biscuit, I can taste
Yeah.
caramel, I can taste toast.
Yeah.
This just tastes like, it's great. It's a great beer. It's a great drink. Don't worry about it. But from what I remember it being this malty, delicious, like craft beer, it is now very much in macro territory for me. Tastes like a macro beer-ish to me.
What does that mean?
A macro produced beer. Like just adjuncts, liquored barrel.
Yeah.
When on the extreme end of the scale, when I tasted my ESB, I feel like I could taste the different grains.
Yep.
Like I could go, there is the Crystal 120. There is the, everything about it tasted like grain water. And it was thick and it filled my mouth up and I loved it. And I know that there are horses for courses, right? You have certain beers for certain situations. But this is not what I remember it being. Still a great beer.
Yeah.
I would
still a
never
great
complain
beer.
if someone served me this. But yeah, same thing.
Yeah, someone brings that for the barbecue and leaves you, the rest of the car. You're not upset. You're not like, fuck, I've got them, until someone else comes over and drinks them.
It's not leaving your cart in a ton.
Yeah. Ton. I don't think I ever bought that.
It's $30 for a
30 pack. Yeah, it was too.
Yeah, there is something about it. I don't know. It's weirdly disappointing. It's like going back and seeing your ex-girlfriend and
she's everything you thought she was.
she's not. Yeah,
the reason why she's the ex, I guess. Yeah, I know. Yep.
Is that us? I feel like it's both. I feel like it's us and them. We've both changed. We're both different people now.
Yep. I think you're right. But still happy to shag it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. If it happened, it happened. But like, you're not getting her around every weekend.
I'm not cheating on my wife.
Not for that. But yeah, I guess
Balter, not worth cheating on your wife for. There we go.
Which is terrible because
it's horrible to say because I tried to say before how much the love affair was.
Yeah, it was insane. It was insane how much we all loved this beer. We wanted
it was
this
massive.
It was, and when we'd get it, we would love
so
it.
Always, that will always hold a place in my heart. Balter, always. When I see it, I have happiness, like I do.
The can smiles back at you.
Well, it does actually. We will do a little podcast in the future where we will get a few of theirs lined up, and we'll do some more.
Okay.
Wouldn't it be nice to have them from 7-8 years ago in a can somewhere in a fridge, and we could. Whether they keep it, I don't know.
I can guarantee the recipe has changed.
Yeah.
I can guarantee that is not what we used to drink.
Yeah.
And I don't know how.
Oh. I know. I was
back.
going to say the Gabs is on in January.
Is it?
It was Australia Day normally.
Okay.
But
the Gabs is what for our international audience?
International is the you vote. Anyone can vote. Anyone, if you can vote for the top 100 beers in Australia, voted by the. I don't know how many people are voting that. There's a few.
It ends up being the East Coast Awards because that's where everyone lives.
Lives.
So it ends up being an East Coast brewery, typically Balter or Stone and Wood
or Mountain Culture.
Bent Spoke.
Yeah, but Mountain Culture won last year, I reckon. They're pale.
Did they?
Culture,
Yeah,
or 2 years in a row. But yes, Bent Spoke. Canberra's not a big place. Like that's.
Yeah.
Bent Spoke was pretty good.
Bent Spoke's pretty good. I'm not having to go at Bent Spoke. I'm just saying it's the East Coast Awards. Which features South Australian beer sometimes, which is fantastic.
Anyway, get on there and vote if you can.
I'll put a link if I can remember.
And I don't give a fuck what you vote for. Just vote for what you want.
No, vote for Coopers, actually.
Okay, vote for Coopers.
They don't really need it, though.
Doesn't matter.
But it's good to see them in the top 10.
Good to see them win, yeah. Or any South Australian brewery that starts with C.
Is there any more?
I don't know.
We could play that game.
We used to. Brewbusters.
Yeah, we did.
We miss... Whereas Megahead, I know you're listening, okay? I'm looking at the camera now.
Me too.
Come back, fact checker. We miss you.
Some fact checks.
And Viking, I want to see your uncut penis, okay? On that note.
I've got a story in a minute. All right.
Well,
Good night, everyone.
Story off or on?
Off air.
Okay.
See you at the bottom.
See you at the bottom. Oh, that's amazing.
Toads. wanna go.